It's time to have a real chat about this club. Comolli, Chiellini, Tudor, Ferrero, Scanavino, whoever. These are the people in charge of the club, and it's important to have the conversation that this summer is very important. While I'll agree that we cannot fix everything in one summer, we tried that to do last summer and it failed under Giuntoli and under Thiago Motta. This summer, we cannot get things wrong as we did last summer. We need to be smart, maybe a little bit patient, but not too patient, and certain key areas need to be addressed to have a proper rebuild to get back on the good books, basically. That's what we're going to talk about in this video because it's very important to have that conversation, in my opinion. But before we get into it, as always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into the talk. So, as I said in my intro, we have new people in charge, and we don't know these people. We don't know how Chiellini can do a job. We don't know how Comolli can do a job. We don't even know who really the sporting director is going to be and in which capacity he's going to operate, what his ideas are, whatever. We have a lot of issues in the squad. From players we signed in the past, not under Comolli, on big wages, big fees, and a new coach, basically, again. And we have holes in that squad, period. Despite, having players in that position, we need to have help. We need to improve. And it's impossible to do that in one summer. We tried last season and it horribly failed. It failed, period. So now it's probably the most important summer in 5-6 seasons. Because right now, whatever you do, you cannot make any more mistakes. It's harsh because there's so much work to be done, but that's the reality. That's the reality. Certain key areas need to be addressed. We need clarity as well. We had a lot of players on loan. That's no clarity, having players on loan. We have a lot of holes in that squad. That's no clarity as well. And on top of that as well, we made signings who've been here for a year and kind of flopped. All that. And now Comolli needs to find a solution to improve that backline, to improve the attack because, players are leaving and out of contract or being forced out, whatever, and build a proper team. A team that lacks leadership, quality, vision, a style of play, in my opinion, a proper mindset, so many issues. So whoever you can bring in as being Comolli, and maybe Chiellini this summer, who probably is helping Comolli in this, I believe. Otherwise, Comolli is doing a lot on his own, and that cannot be good as well because it's impossible. It makes the job impossible. But when they talk about we need 2 or 3 key areas to address, what does that mean? Like, are they talking about we literally need a defender, a midfielder, an attacker? Or are they looking at it and saying, you know what, we need profile. We need an experienced leader in that squad. Is that in the back? Is that an attack? Is that a midfield? Is that Granit Xhaka, where everybody's like cringing about and saying, oof, but the club maybe look at and say, you know what? The experience he had and still the quality he can add in Serie A, because we need to do baby steps. And think about Serie A. That's the reality. Is that the quality we need? The leadership, somebody who's won, somebody who can lead a team, at times maybe a bit too much emotional, but maybe we need that. It's too safe at this squad, this team. Players believe they are leaders, but they're no real leaders, and they get backed by the media for being leaders. But when the chips are down, they all fall. They don't play. They have a good poker face, a lot of them, but they cannot play. They lose their money every time they put the chips on that table. They lose that money. They lose those chips. So is that maybe Giuntoli's thought process? The profiles, the 2-3 additions, it's not really about positions, but it's about the idea. An experienced player, a talented player, whatever, and a player with potential. I don't know, but it needs to be clear. And the club cannot make any mistakes. Imagine having a summer again like we had last summer. How are you going to get out of that situation? And I know it's not really fair towards them to expect so much already right now, but the early signs are warning signs. They're just warning signs, early signs, where it's like, okay, you just can sit back and say they are just coming in, whatever. You can do that, or you can sit back, acknowledge the situation that yes, they came back, just came in. It's a lot of work to be done with not a lot of time, but also be honest and be like, okay, certain things look spooky. Certain things we've had in the past or reminds us of the past where it's like this is going to go bad and south really quickly. We've been here, we've done it, and that's not how it should be done. Should be done. This is going to end badly. That can be a realistic thing right now. That can be a realistic thing. And I give Juntili 2 summers up to a point where it's like, what the hell is going on right here? I don't give Comolli and whoever comes in the time to prove us wrong, right? Whatever your opinion is. But we need to have something, right? We need to have some sort of vision where we're like, okay, this is what we're trying to do. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense what we're trying to do. It kind of started with Tudor being confirmed, but we all know, we all have that feeling he's not really that guy. That's already a bad start. Let's be completely honest. Believing in Tudor, not believing in Tudor. Backing him, not backing him. That's besides the point. The point is we're having a coach, somebody's coaching the team, and they're not really convinced about that player, about that coach. That's a bad start. Players feel that. Everybody feels that. Signings feel that. And the moment things go bad throughout the season, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen with this team because they've shown it in the past. They will throw them under the bus, hide behind the management, and we do this thing over and over again because the players know you guys didn't even want that job. So there needs to be strong statements, not just in words, but also in action, what you're putting out there. That needs to be done. That's important this summer. Set out something. I can live with keeping certain players because there's just no time and impossible to get them all out and do that next summer. If there's a plan where I'm like, okay, that's what you're trying to do. If you move out certain players next season because it was impossible to do this season, it is what it is. It's sad, it's bad. You tried at least, but fine. But right now, it's like, did you try? Do you actually believe in the players we do not rate, who have been bad for the last couple of seasons, who have been helping us to be in this bad situation? Are you now saying we should be trusting these players? That cannot be possible. Can it? That is what I'm looking at, and I'm asking Comolli, Chiellini, whoever, is your idea? You've seen the last couple of seasons. Everybody's seen. Even if you haven't worked for the club, how are you going to fix that? How are you going to tell these players that they're not good enough? When Comolli comes out and he said, or Chiellini and Comolli comes out, but especially Comolli said, we have a lot of good players. We need to teach them how to win. How are you going to teach them when there are no winners in this team? That's just believing or saying to yourself, we cannot move them on, so we need to make the best out of it. Just come out and say that. Say that, man, we're limited this summer, so the players who are going to be here and had a bad season, they're going to need to improve. I can get behind that. I can as a fan, I cannot accept that. But sitting back, I'm like, okay, you cannot do all the things, but at least you admitted that the players need to perform better. Now you're just giving them an excuse again. That I do not like. So things need to be clear, but this is it this summer. There can be no mistakes, and it needs to be a proper, clear restart. In the comments, let me know what you think about the situation and what actually might be the idea. Maybe you have an idea what their idea is. So let me know in the comments. Like the video, and we will speak again soon. Ciao.